concerned because people are in there in confined space with the health department saying that if you were on that train and you were not vaccinated, if you get a fever, you need to check with your doctor because you may not be.
We've been saying over and over this flu season, the flu vaccine hasn't been very effective. Not the case for the measles vaccination.
The good news is this is one of the best vaccines we have. You know, it reduces your chances of getting measles if you're exposed from 90% all the way down to 1%. I mean, that's really incredible. It's a very effective vaccine.
I know my 1-year-old is due for his MMR, that MMR, measles, mumps, rubella. It's not just a one-time vaccination either.
It's not. It's not. For kids, it's 2 doses. For adults, it's 1 dose. And that means that you don't have to worry about it. But we vaccinate not just to protect ourselves, but to protect babies like yours who are too young to be vaccinated, or people with immune problems who are at risk of getting it because they can't develop that immunity.
So many on edge of the Super Bowl are warning anyone with symptoms to stay away from the stadium, and communities really on high alert, doing everything they can to be vigilant as well right now.
Yeah, when you see crowds of people coming together, that's the setting where you have to be careful because not everyone's going to be protected. So you want to make sure that no one goes to that setting who potentially could have measles. They're having people stay home who have the possibility that they're developing measles. That's all smart things to do.
Again, that vaccination is 99% effective, correct?
It's terrific. It's terrific.
It really is terrific. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Rich. Dan?
Rich, thank you. We're going to move on now to the other big story of the morning. January going out like a lion. February coming in the exact same way. Not only is there dangerous cold out there, but also a new big snowstorm on the move from the Midwest all the way to the Northeast, where millions are digging out from that record-setting blizzard. ABC's Gio Benitez is in Boston with more. Gio, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. It is cold. Just take a look behind me. It is snowing. It is windy. And you know what? We were talking about temperatures feeling like 7 below zero where we're standing right now here in Boston. These incredible gusts of wind at 40 miles per hour. It's going to be cold for quite some time. This morning, just as coastal Massachusetts cleans up from a record-breaking blizzard, the watches are out. More snow is on the way. While the last blizzard's impact is still felt across the Northeast, 2 men in Massachusetts died while shoveling the 2 feet of snow left behind. Those unable to shovel, getting help in Providence, Rhode Island from volunteers. You can still see so much ice on this house.
Absolutely.
Homes in Situate looking more like igloos. Water pounding the coast and homes before freezing over. So this just tore up your deck here.
Absolutely, and as that's held down with 1 3/4 screws. So I mean, the force of something to be ripped out is just unbelievable.
Damage he won't even think about repairing until after winter. And the ice on those homes is not going to be melting anytime soon. The snow here in Boston also not going to be melting anytime soon. These temperatures are going to be cold, cold, cold for several days, Paul.
They're bracing for more. All right, Gio Benitez, thank you. And Rob is tracking the wintry blast of this big storm that's on its way. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Paul. This one's bigger and it's going to affect more people than the last storm did, from a wide swath of real estate, all the way from New England, where we have winter storm watches, as Gio mentioned. That's where the storm is expected to go, but it's going to hit the Midwest first, and we already have winter storm warnings that stretch back all the way into Iowa. This thing is emanating from the southwest, and it's got a lot of moisture. It's tapped into some tropical moisture. It's been raining across parts of Arizona, snow across the southern Rockies. It gets into Chicago tomorrow morning. We're going to see some snow, potentially heavy at times. This will be the biggest snowfall in Chicago, I think, easily this year. And then Super Bowl Sunday, we stretch it into the Northeast, and by about halftime at 9 p.m. on Sunday, we look for that snow to start to encroach on the New York City area. Here's what we're thinking as far as the snowfall amounts at this time. 6 to 12 inches of it, yeah, that's potential from across northern Illinois, northern Indiana, including Chicago, and then stretching across parts of northern Ohio and through Pittsburgh. And then watch, this whole swath goes just across upstate New York and then through New England, New York, right on the fringe of the 6 to 12. I think the Northeast, we're going to have to tweak this forecast a little bit to tomorrow. A little bit of uncertainty there, but it has some moisture with it, and we have the cold there as well. So a fair amount of snow. We'll continue to update you. Dan, back to you.
Busy days for the ABC News weather team. Rob, thank you. We will continue to track it. Meanwhile, we are seeing some remarkable new video this morning of a Coast Guard rescue. Not only did this mission entail high risks on the high seas, but it also involved the family of one of the original investors in Pinterest on board a luxury boat that experienced a sudden and dramatic malfunction. And ABC's Candace Gibson is here with more. Good morning.
Good morning, Dan and Paula. Good morning, everybody. This ordeal, a harrowing one for a group of 5 people in the Atlantic Ocean. Their boat battering 13-foot waves and 40-mile-an-hour winds, and the Coast Guard doing what they do best.
Overnight, the U.S. Coast Guard releasing this video of a dramatic rescue at sea.
5 people plucked from an incapacitated sailboat Friday, 200 miles off the coast of North Carolina. Watch as the crews hoisted one by one into a rescue helicopter hovering above. Here you can see one crew member jump from the disabled boat into the churning water to reach the rescuer.
There was 40-knot winds and 13-foot seas, and they took a wave over their bow that appeared to be a little bit too much for the boat, and the mast split in half.
This morning, the Coast Guard telling ABC News the rescue was launched when the crew of the vessel issued a distress call just before 2 p.m.
So welcome to my wonderful gunboat.
Aboard the boat, millionaire Pinterest investor Brian Cohen, his $2.5 million luxury catamaran, the Rainmaker, profiled by Forbes last year.
The boat as a design is all 100% carbon fiber. What does that mean? It means that it's light and it's strong and rigid. So that when you actually are out sailing, you've got authority in the water.
But now Cohen and the rest of his crew thankful to be back on dry land after the frightening ordeal. By the way, the maker of that catamaran gunboat tells ABC News they plan on getting the boat back and repairing it so that Cohen can go back out onto the water as soon as possible.